Hi, this is Jessie Ann Nichols George, and I'm coming to you today with a lesson that is about patience. Now, I've had a lot of people lately asking me and saying, boy, Jessie, if I just had a little more patience, I know that I can get there. And there are so many people trying to achieve their goals and get onto their life plan and get onto that soul course that they want so much. Uh, I know with my niece recently, I just got back from her college graduation, and that took a lot of patience. And for me, patience has got to be one of the toughest lessons I had to learn along the way. Continue to pursue, continue to be persistent. And when we think of patience, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. We want to look at things like, do we want something right now? And if we do want it right now, and this is how people sell a lot of things to us, right? We see those things, get it right now, okay? I can teach you how to have this in 7 days, in 2 hours, things like that, because it's a great selling point, because we live in a society that is about immediate gratification for a lot of people. So when we live in that immediate gratification, unfortunately, what happens is that we end up settling for things. And we then don't end up getting what we're really looking for. So part of the reason patience is there is because the universe wants to know, God, universe, spirit, whatever term you want to use, oftentimes wants to know that we are truly, seriously committed to that path. Okay? And we can see this a lot of times in, for example, relationships, right? We're young, we think, oh yeah, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to have a family, I want to have a house, all of these things. However, if we don't have that patience, right, to be calm with those kids at the end of a long day's work, or to keep pulling the weeds out of the yard, or to keep making the house repairs that need to be done, guess what? We're not going to have that life that we wanted to have to start with. So patience is, I would say, one of the most valuable tools that we can give ourselves, and one of the most valuable skills that we can develop for ourselves. Because I find when we have patience, it goes hand in hand with my message of compassion. A little bit of patience can allow us to get a lot better or a lot bigger result than what we had originally expected. So that kind of brings in that phrase, having it be better than expected, having it be even better. You hear that a lot today, even better or even better. And so that's what patience gives us, is it gives us that opportunity to get there even better. So for the things that are solid and lasting in our life, with patience, if we can keep putting something out time and time again, then with that consistency, that's the thing that's going to get, for example, our work noticed. Okay, I've had to do that. I had to consistently put out a great blog, great work, consistently be adding things to my work so that I could continue to bring you great work and to get myself out there and to get the opportunities that I needed. Okay, somebody doesn't just come up to you overnight and say, hey, I noticed that you've been on the internet for 1 day and I want to give you a TV show. I mean, they want to know that you can carry that through and that you're serious enough to continue doing things day after day after day after day. And that really pays off. Now, the key is people go, okay, great, I know the value of patience. I get it, right? Because one of the big things with patience is, are you looking for something right now, or are you looking for something that's right for you? Okay, and I mentioned that just a little bit at the beginning of the video, but the key with that is it's kind of like going into, say, an ice cream shop, okay, and you get in there, or you get into the store, wherever it is, and you say, oh, I was really looking for this one particular item, or I was looking for this one particular flavor, and the store manager says to you, great, I have a shipment coming in tomorrow, and we'll get that for you. You can come back tomorrow and it'll be here. And that's where you really learn whether it's something that you sincerely, truly want in your life, okay? And when I say that, it's because if you have to have that particular flavor right now, then chances are it's just an immediate ego gratification, okay? If you can say, great, tomorrow is just one more day, that's not a that's a great thing. I can come back tomorrow, I can handle that, and then you get exactly what you want. Or you have that option of saying, well, I'll settle for what's here right now because I'm really hungry, so I'm going to have what you have today. So there's three different things there. When we settle for what we want, we put ourselves in kind of a deprivation space. So we're not living in that abundant space. When we stop living in that abundant space, we keep missing our goals. And that's where a lot of people get frustrated and then they give up because they're just barely missing their goals. Okay? And a lot of times with patients too, we feel very worn down. Like in our example, for example, let's say you'd been to 20 stores and you're like, I just don't have it in me to go to one more store. But then you do, and you find exactly what you want when you can pull that energy reserve back up. So it really comes down to, are you staying true to what you really want, what you really need, what is important for your soul to have, what is part of the bigger path, or are you going for the immediate gratification? And as long as we go for the immediate gratification, we rarely get to what we truly want. We leave ourselves feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled, not being true to ourselves. And that sends so much more different messages to us, because what we have is we have the deprivation space. We have things that sets us up for feeling like a failure in our mind, or you don't have the endurance, or you don't have what it takes. So all this negative programming starts in, and we really don't want to go into that space of negative programming. Now, if we can have a little more patience, then we start getting the programming of, you're amazing, you're successful, you're incredible, look at the achievements that you've made. So there's a lot of different things like that that come into play that are really useful for us. Now, let's see, how do we keep that patience? How do we get that patience? So I find that when something's not coming through in my life, whether that is a relationship that you really want to have in your life, a job, a career, personal development, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, the biggest keys that you can do is to set yourself up with as much positive energy. You keep working on you. Keep asking yourself, how do I make it better? How do I make it more convenient for somebody to use? How do I make it more accessible to people? How do I make myself better? And that's the big key. That's what I turn to all the time in my work. How do I make myself better? And when I ask that question, it's about really coming around to that space of, how do I make myself happier? How do I get myself in a more loving state? How do I keep improving on all those top virtues, so to say, out there? How do I become a kinder person? How can I be more helpful to my neighbors? How can I give myself more rest? All of these things, the better I'm taking care of me, the more I'm improving me, the sooner that what I'm looking for is going to come into my life. And that's amazing, okay? That's how you speed up time. You work on you, okay? You work on making yourself stronger. You work on making yourself happier. You work on making yourself that person that everybody wants to get to know, okay? So that's charming. That is about being honest and true and being yourself and knowing yourself. And if you have things that aren't working out, then keep plugging away at those things, because I assure you, you are probably only one step away or one store away. So when we think about patience, this time of year we get a lot of weeds growing up in those yards, don't we? So think of yourself as being as persistent as that weed that just doesn't go away, okay? You don't want to be annoying, you want to be beautiful, but at the same time, you want to be that persistent, okay? So patience really is the universe's way of saying, you've got something else to get down. And so look at what you're doing, look at those qualities and those traits that would be amazing, that strength, that confidence, that happiness, that joy, that exuberance, that really inner knowing that you are going to make it. And then continuing to ask, what else do I need to do? What else can I improve? Because you know what? We can always improve. I know no matter how many years I've been working on things, I can always learn to be kinder. I can always learn to be more understanding. I can always learn to continue to increase my patience. I can continue to be persistent, and sometimes it's just a matter of timing. Think about it. What if the universe has something even better for you? And it does. So when you're waiting for that something better to come in, take a deep breath, keep putting out the great work, keep making the improvements, and keep working on you. Because when you get yourself and you continue to work on yourself, you can't ever be so-called too good, okay? You can't ever be too strong, okay? So what you're doing is you're finding those balances. You're finding how to be more of you. And the more of that you do and the more of you that you bring into things, the more you're going to get what you want and the sooner it's going to get here. This has been Jessie Ann Nichols George coming to you on patience. Okay, just have a little patience. You can get there, you can do it, and I know you're going to be successful. If you'd like to check out more of my work, go right on over to my website. It's at www.jessieannnicholsgeorge1, that's the number 1.com. You can also check out my radio show, which is on every Friday nights, and that is called Activating Compassion in the Midnight Hour. All the archive shows and upcoming shows are on my website as well. You can find those there. That's done through Blog Talk, and the times are on there, so check it out. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much, and just have a little more patience.